Hi students, our today's topic for discussion is vitamin D. Vitamin D is not strictly a vitamin. It can also be considered as a hormone. Here are some scientists who worked on vitamin D. Angus and co-workers isolated vitamin D in 1931 and the structure was elucidated by Otto Diels and Kurt Alder. So, reframing vitamin D as a hormone. So, in order to say vitamin D as a hormone, we should know what is a hormone or what is the definition of a hormone. A hormone is a chemical substance and it is formed in one part of the body and is carried in the blood to other organs or parts and can alter the function or structure of one or many organs or parts. So, a hormone is a chemical substance which is formed in one part of the body, carried through the blood to other organs and alter the function or structure of many organs or parts. So, this is the definition of the hormone and the vitamin D satisfies this definition. So, we can consider vitamin D as a hormone also. Next, about the chemistry. Now, the vitamin D exists in two forms. It can be either vitamin D3 or vitamin D2. The vitamin D3 is cholecalciferol and it is found in human skin and fish liver. Vitamin D2 is ergocalciferol and it is found in fungus. So, vitamin D exists in two forms, cholecalciferol and ergocalciferol. Cholecalciferol is a vitamin D3 which is found in humans and ergocalciferol is a vitamin D2 which is found in fungus. The inactive natural precursors of this vitamin is known as provitamin, and for vitamin D3, the provitamin D3 is 7-dehydrocholesterol and is found in skin. And for the vitamin D2, the provitamin D2 is ergosterol and it is found in fungus and plants. So here are the provitamin D3 and provitamin D2. Provitamin D3 is 7-dehydrocholesterol and provitamin D2 is ergosterol. These are the inactive natural precursors. Okay, so the active form is the active or the vitamin D exists in two forms like cholecalciferol and ergocalciferol, and the inactive natural precursors of provitamin of them are the 7-dehydrocholesterol and ergosterol. Here is the structure of vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. Next, about the formation of vitamin D. I told you that the precursor or precursor of the vitamin inactive precursor is the 7-dehydrocholesterol. In case of vitamin D3, provitamin D3, 7-dehydrocholesterol is the inactive precursor, and when light falls on this vitamin D3, provitamin D3, that is when UV rays falls on this, there is breakage of bond between the 9th and 10th carbon atom, and this results in the formation of a secosterol which is a cis form, and then it is converted to the trans form which is a cholecalciferol. Okay, that is vitamin D3, cholecalciferol. So, initially the 7-dehydrocholesterol, which is the intermediate of cholesterol synthesis, gets accumulated in the skin, and when the UV light falls on them, it breaks the bond between the position 9 and 10 of the steroid ring, which leads to the opening of the ring B to form pre-vitamin D, that is secosterol. And the cis double bond between the 5th and 6th carbon atoms isomerize to a trans double bond on the 6th carbon atom to give vitamin D3 or cholecalciferol or calciol. Okay, so the inactive form is the 7-dehydrocholesterol, which is formed as an intermediate of the cholesterol synthesis, and is formed in gets accumulated in the skin, and when light falls on them, 7-dehydrocholesterol, what will happen? It will break the bond between the position 9 and 10 of the steroid ring, and this leads to the opening of the ring B and results in the formation of secosterol, which is a cis form, and later this cis form gets converted to a trans form, that is the cholecalciferol or calciol or vitamin D3. The vitamin D therefore is also known as what? Sunshine vitamin. So here is a metabolism. So cholecalciferol is formed. Then what will happen to this cholecalciferol? Okay, from the 7-dehydrocholesterol, cholecalciferol is formed, and this cholecalciferol is carried to the liver where the further metabolism occurs, and in the liver it is acted upon by the enzyme 25-hydroxylase to form 25-hydroxy vitamin D3, that is 25-hydroxy cholecalciferol, and from the liver it is then transported to the kidney via a vitamin D binding protein, and in the kidney it is acted upon by the enzyme 1-alpha hydroxylase to form 125-dihydroxy vitamin D3. Okay, initially in the skin there will be accumulation of the what? Cholesterol intermediate of the cholesterol synthesis, that is 7-dehydrocholesterol, and this 7-dehydrocholesterol cholecalciferol is formed, and this cholecalciferol or vitamin D3 reaches the liver, and in the liver it is acted upon by the enzyme 25-hydroxylase to form 25-hydroxy cholecalciferol, and it is then carried to the kidney via vitamin D binding protein, and in the kidney it is acted upon by the another enzyme 1-alpha hydroxylase and results in the formation of 125-dihydroxy cholecalciferol. Okay. So vitamin D, we can also consider it as a prohormone, and this cholecalciferol which is formed in the skin reaches the liver and gets hydroxylated at the 25th position to form 25-hydroxy cholecalciferol, and it is which had enzyme help for this 25-hydroxylase, hepatic 25-hydroxylase catalyzes this reaction, and this 25-hydroxylase is a microsomal monooxygenase and requires cytochrome P450 and NADPH. This enzyme, that is 25-hydroxylase, requires NADPH and cytochrome P450, and it is a main storage form of the vitamin D. That is 25-hydroxy cholecalciferol is a main storage form of vitamin D, and from the liver it is transported to the kidney in the plasma as 25-hydroxy cholecalciferol bound to vitamin D binding protein. This vitamin D binding protein is an alpha-2 globulin, and thus it reaches the kidney, and in the kidney it gets hydroxylated at the first position with the help of the enzyme 1-alpha hydroxylase. Here is a small spelling mistake. Hydroxylase, located in the mitochondria of the proximal convoluted tubule, and requires cytochrome P450, NADPH and ferrodoxin. Okay, this enzyme 1-alpha hydroxylase also requires NADPH and cytochrome P450. Okay. In the kidney 125-dihydroxy cholecalciferol is thus generated, and here the OH group is present at 3 positions, that is 1, 3 and 25th position, and so this is also known as calcitriol. Okay, here OH hydroxyl group is present at 1st, 3rd and 25th position, and so it is also known as calcitriol. The calcitriol is the active form of the vitamin or hormone. Instead of hydroxylation at the first position in the kidney, it can also get hydroxylated at the 24th position, resulting in the formation of 24,25-dihydroxy cholecalciferol, and it is formed by the hydroxylation of 25-hydroxy cholecalciferol at the 24th position. Okay. Here is it. This is a cholecalciferol which has got only one hydroxyl group, and it is acted upon by the enzyme 25-hydroxylase in the liver, and results in the formation of 125-dihydroxy cholecalciferol, and this will reaches the kidney, and in the kidney it is acted upon either by 1-alpha hydroxylase to form 125-dihydroxy cholecalciferol, or it is acted upon by the enzyme hydroxylation occurs at the 24th position, resulting in the formation of 24,25 dihydroxycholecalciferol. Okay. So 125 dihydroxycholecalciferol contains 3 hydroxy group, so called calcitriol, which is an active form and it is a hormone. Note that the calcitriol is a physiological active form of the vitamin D and it increases the blood calcium level. Whereas the calcitonin is a peptide hormone released from thyroid gland and decreases blood calcium level. Don't get confused with the terms calcitriol and calcitonin. Calcitriol is the active form of vitamin D and it increases blood calcium level, while the calcitonin is a peptide hormone released from thyroid gland and it decreases blood calcium level. Okay, then till now where we reached, formed 125 dihydroxycholecalciferol, that is calcitriol. This calcitriol then binds to the vitamin D receptor within the tissues, within the cells, and results in the formation of a heterodimer with a retinoid receptor, and this helps in transcription. Okay, the calcitriol binds to specific receptor, that is vitamin D receptor, and it forms a heterodimeric complex with retinoid receptor, and then they bind to the vitamin D response elements on the DNA and thus modulates the transcriptional activity of vitamin D responsive genes. Okay. And hope you understood. The 125 dihydroxycholecalciferol then binds, or calcitriol then binds to highly specific receptors called vitamin D receptors, and this vitamin D receptors then forms a heterodimeric complex with the RXR receptors, that is retinoid receptors, and thus they bind to the vitamin D response elements on the DNA and modulates the transcriptional activity of the vitamin D responsive genes. The vitamin D receptors plays an important role in regulating smooth muscle cell proliferation, thrombosis, fibrinolysis and vessel relaxation. So, vitamin D has got an important function for all these things. And so, what we discussed today? We discussed about the chemistry of vitamin D. What are the two different forms of vitamin D? That is vitamin D3 and D2, cholecalciferol and ergosterol. Okay. So, what we discussed today? We discussed about the chemistry of the vitamin D. What are the two different forms of vitamin D? That is cholecalciferol and ergocalciferol, and about the precursors 7-dehydrocholesterol and ergosterol, and how the active form is formed from this. We discussed about its metabolism in liver, kidney and all. Then about the action, vitamin D receptor and its binding with what vitamin D response elements on the DNA. Hope you understood. Thank you.